The phrase most evil people in history generally refers to individuals who have committed terrible acts that have caused immense suffering to others, often on a massive scale. These individuals are often leaders, dictators, or notorious criminals who have gained notoriety for their heinous actions. The selection of the most evil people in history is subjective and can vary depending on the criteria used. Factors that are typically considered include the magnitude of harm caused, the level of cruelty involved, the number of victims, and the impact on society. However, it's important to note that discussing the atrocities committed by these individuals can be deeply distressing and may trigger some people. Furthermore, history is often complex and nuanced, and there may be varying opinions on the motivations and actions of these individuals. Here is our list based on the deaths attributed to them. Number 10 is Osama Bin Laden, 1957 to 2011. Osama Bin Laden was a founder and leader of the terrorist organization Al-Qaeda, responsible for the September 11 attacks in the United States that killed nearly 3,000 people. He spent years evading capture by hiding in various locations before being found and killed by US Navy SEALs in Pakistan in 2011. Bin Laden's extremist beliefs and actions, including the targeting of civilians, have made him one of the most reviled figures in modern history. His death brought a sense of justice and closure to many of his victims and their families, but his legacy of violence and terrorism lives on. Number 9 is Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini, 1902 to 1989. Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini was the founder of the Islamic Republic of Iran and its supreme leader from 1979 until his death in 1989. He was a controversial figure who implemented strict Islamic laws in Iran and advocated for the overthrow of Western influence in the Middle East. Khomeini's reign was marked by a crackdown on political dissidents and the execution of thousands of people accused of opposing the government. His legacy is still debated in Iran, with some seeing him as a revolutionary hero and others as a repressive dictator. Number 8 is Ivan the Terrible, 1530 to 1584. Ivan IV Vasilievich, also known as Ivan the Terrible, was the Grand Prince of Moscow from 1533 to 1547 and the first Tsar of Russia from 1547 until his death in 1584. His reign was marked by brutal acts of violence and cruelty, including the massacre of his own people and the torture of his enemies. He was known to have personally killed and tortured people, including his own son. Despite his legacy of terror, Ivan is also credited with modernizing Russia and establishing a powerful centralized government. Number 7 is Idi Amin, 1952 to 2003. Idi Amin was the military dictator and president of Uganda from 1971 to 1979. He was known for his brutal and erratic rule, including the expulsion of Uganda's Asian minority and the murder of thousands of his own people. Amin's regime was marked by torture, extrajudicial killings, and the suppression of political opposition. He was eventually overthrown in 1979 and fled to exile in Saudi Arabia, where he remained until his death in 2003. Number 6 is Saddam Hussein, 1937 to 2006. Saddam Hussein was the 5th president of Iraq, serving from 1979 until 2003. He was known for his authoritarian rule, human rights abuses, and aggressive foreign policies. He waged wars against neighboring Iran and Kuwait, and faced international sanctions as a result. He was also accused of using chemical weapons against his own people and suppressing political opposition through violence and torture. He was eventually captured by US forces in 2003 and executed by hanging in 2006. Number 5 is Heinrich Himmler, 1900 to 1945. Heinrich Himmler was the head of the SS and one of the key architects of the Holocaust during World War II. As the chief of the German police, he was responsible for the implementation of the final solution, which aimed to exterminate all Jews in Europe. Under his leadership, around 6 million Jews were killed. Himmler was captured by the Allies after the war and committed suicide by cyanide poisoning while in their custody. He was buried in an unmarked grave in an undisclosed location. Number 4 is Pol Pot, 1925 to 1998. Pol Pot was a Cambodian revolutionary and the leader of the Khmer Rouge, responsible for the Cambodian genocide. His goal was to destroy the existing Cambodian civilization and establish a new regime. During his reign as Prime Minister, from 1976 to 1979, his policies led to the deaths of approximately 2 million people, which was a quarter of the country's population. Pol Pot was known for his brutal tactics, including keeping the skulls of his victims and ordering gruesome acts, such as tearing babies limb by limb. He died of natural causes. Number 3 is Vlad the Impaler, 1431 to 1476. Vlad the Impaler was a nickname given to Vlad Idi, a Romanian monarch who ruled in the 15th century. He was known for his brutal tactics, including impalement, which involved skewering victims with a stake through their bodies. His reputation for violence and cruelty inspired the character of Dracula in Bram Stoker's famous novel. While some viewed him as a hero for defending Wallachia against invading forces, his legacy remains controversial due to his use of extreme violence and terror tactics. Number 2 is Joseph Stalin, 1878 to 1953. Iosif Vissarionovich Stalin ruled the Soviet Union as a dictator from 1922 until his death in 1953. He was once a robber and assassin in his youth. For almost 3 decades, he governed through terror and violence, causing a famine that killed millions. He not only targeted his enemies, but also their families, killing anyone who posed a potential threat. Stalin was responsible for the deaths of over 20 million people, with more than 1.5 million German women being raped during his reign. He was even nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize in 1945 and 1948, despite saying, "One death is a tragedy, a million deaths is simply a statistic." He died of a stroke in 1953. Number 1 is Adolf Hitler, 1889 to 1945. Adolf Hitler, the Nazi Party's Führer and Germany's Chancellor from 1933 to 1945, is widely considered one of history's most intelligent, creative, and ruthless dictators. He spearheaded the Holocaust and World War II, leading to the death of over 50 million people. Hitler believed that Jews were the root cause of all issues and made their elimination his top priority. Despite being a gifted artist and member of a bohemian community, Hitler committed suicide in his bunker on April 30, 1945, ending his reign of terror. There you have it. We hope you liked our video, and if you want more videos like this, please visit our channel and subscribe to see our lineup of interesting topics. Thanks for watching.